the Seahawks. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone, and they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They run again with Carson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Play action. It's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Throwing on 1st down. Knight caught left side. Bennett. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On 1st and 10, Knight. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. To throw on 2nd down, Knight. Throw left side complete. That's Bennett. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
3 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Captain Zero out now as he'll kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for Seattle. 79 yards. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game. Because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And they're going to have lousy starting field position as he's out of bounds at his 6-yard line.
Anytime you field a kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
On 1st down, Knight. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Knight. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. It's a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Fresh set of downs here. From the gun, Knight. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bennett. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Looking to throw. Knight. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. So we've got a 2nd and 5. Play clock's running down. To throw on second down. Knight. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Throwing on first down. Knight. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down. Back to the air on second down. Knight. And he comes back with one complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On first and 10, Knight. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Cat and zero out now as he'll kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now Wilson on second down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. The son Reddick coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That one will go down. It's 33 yards on the third down conversion.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, and so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it second down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And Gronkowski's got it, complete over the middle. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Here's Carson. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Here's Wilson. Completes it right side to Cooper. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move, as that gives him a first down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good. Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
They're able to hold them to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up?
And, oh, that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So the D-line's going to spread out. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurt them the other way, getting past that first wave.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat. Brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, a big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On first down, Knight. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. Looking to throw on second down. Knight. Throw left side complete. That's Bennett. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. K.J. Wright. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. To throw on second down. Knight. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. On third down. Knight. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Getting set to go again. We get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him.
Yeah, I think so, because
blitz coming, and down he goes.
the amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now it's Carson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Throwing on first down. Knight looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bennett. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Operating from the gun. Knight. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Throw left side complete. That's Nelson. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Falcons averaged 34 points a game last year, tops in the NFL with that powerful offense. And they're already looking for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. That's complete right around the 8. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Looking to throw on second down. Knight being chased out left. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally...
Doug Baldwin, he's at the 50, 30, and all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. Hassan Reddick bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
Watch him now, Barney!
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. In just 2 minutes' time, don't forget we'll get you to Orlando for our halftime report. To bring it to you, who else but Larry Ridley?
Now that man knows his football. Go get him, Larry.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Gain of 9 that time on the scramble. 1 yard shy of the marker, and it brings up fourth.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On fourth down, Knight buying time to his left. He made, and he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. It's their quarterback on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Cat 0 out now as he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. It's not even a question for me.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tack McKinley in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On third down. It's Carson, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 15. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. And here now come the Falcons. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Knight. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. A very solid gain of 27. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. From the gun, Knight. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Cat and zero out now as he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And, Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it?
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
So we've come to halftime. And no update from Larry this week, apparently. We'll try again in Week 7. But for now, let's get back to the action, ready to kick off the second half. This fielded at the 2. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. First down, Knight. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and say, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
There's Wilson. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They go play action with Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bennett. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Knight. Throw left side complete. It's Bennett. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. Throwing on 1st down. Knight. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Something got lost in translation in this game. He's run the ball really well, done all the things that you want in a game plan, but unable to convert it into points, unable to ring the bell consistently enough to make it a winning effort.
Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Deion Jones able to use that strength and get him for a loss of 2.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Wilson. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
No. Check. Patriot.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Knight. He's got a man that's caught left sideline. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. first down. Knight. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. From the gun, Knight. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. To throw on 2nd down, Knight. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end. My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Operating from the gun, Knight. And this is going to be incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
On 4th down, Knight. And that is going to be incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. 2nd time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. And out now come the Seahawks. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do. He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. Hassan Reddick in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A good pick up there of 20 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. To throw again. Knight. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Nelson. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Time running out here on the play clock.
Delay game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Knight. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Captain Zero out now as he'll kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Room here to run. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On second down, Wilson. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Wilson throwing on third and long. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So out come the Falcons now. And, Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we've reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsey? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
Throwing on first down. Knight. Looking left sideline. It's complete. They give him a gain of 38. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on it.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Tack McKinley in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Able to evade the tackle, but then quickly brought down just outside the 5. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. That's pulled in at the 32. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. 17
yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Operating from the gun, Knight. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Looking left side, and it's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. On 1st and 10, Knight. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. Now it's 2nd and 7. From the gun, Knight. His throw caught at about the 5. That one goes for 24 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Operating from the gun, Knight. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Back to throw, Knight. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's at least...
She's on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
She left scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Cat and 0 out now as he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the 1st half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the
pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Wilson now to throw on second down. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On third down, Wilson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37.
After that nice game there, for the rest of the game, the defense is going to have to respect the running backs as passing threats as well. Not just play them strictly to run the football. They may be able to get downfield and catch it, too.
Throwing is Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Derek Shelby in there to get him for a loss of 5.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time.
And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Looking middle, it's caught by Gronkowski. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 19 yards is the pickup there, but even with that, they're well short. It's fourth down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Looking to throw. Knight. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
looks like he'll throw here. This is caught. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. And the offense in a great spot. It's 1st and goal from the 3.
No, check, Patriot.
From the gun, Knight. And he whips that one incomplete there.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Back to throw. Knight dancing to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
From the gun on 3rd down, Knight, and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going, but it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Cat and 0 out now as he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They run it with Carson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. This is Carson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
On 1st down, Knight. Throw left side complete. It's Coleman. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Knight throwing left side, it's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
No, check, Patriot, Patriot. Check 3. All right, here we go.
Throwing on 1st down. Knight. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
Watch him now, Barney. Here we go.
On 1st and 10. Knight. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I tell you, Charles, You play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, and now he bowls him up. There he goes, Amari Cooper. He's at the 30. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these